Welcome to my weather forecast. In today's afternoon update here, I will be talking to you about the severe weather chances as we head into our Wednesday, as we head into midweek and into late week, and then looking ahead here at the longer range weather pattern that does support even more severe weather toward the end of the month and into early April. So the Storm Prediction Center's Day 2 outlook shows a slight risk of severe weather here from North Carolina, much or even really all of South Carolina here into southern and central Georgia, into portions here of northwestern Florida and northern Florida, and then another smaller slight risk zone here across northeastern portions here of Indiana into central Ohio. Tornado probability here, 5% risk area here across the Carolinas down into southern and central Georgia, northwest Florida, 2% area here up into eastern portions of Indiana, much of the state of Ohio down through eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, and eastern Tennessee. The wind risk here is goes along with those slight risk zones from the Carolinas down to Georgia and into Ohio, eastern portions here of Indiana, and then the hail risk a little higher where there's more colder air aloft here up towards the low pressure system, with a little bit more moderate buoyancy here kind of being indicated by some of the models in eastern portions of Indiana through much of central portions of Ohio. Now, this is the NAM model here. Going into tomorrow's Day 2 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, dew points will be here rising into the middle and upper 60s across portions here of, southern portions of North Carolina down through much of South Carolina, much of Georgia into northwest Florida, even a couple 70-degree dew points, especially across the Florida Panhandle into North Florida there around Jacksonville, getting over toward Tallahassee, maybe up towards Savannah, Georgia, and those areas. And that will provide a lot of fuel for these thunderstorms to kind of work with as this cold front here moves to the east through the day into the peak heating with a lot of buoyancy here in the atmosphere. A little bit of instability will create the chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms. An enhanced risk is possible here from the Storm Prediction Center as we head into tomorrow, especially if some greater, destabilization and greater instability can develop more than forecast. But as of right now, a slight risk here is in play for our Wednesday. Also here looking at the significant tornado parameter here, output from the NAM model showing kind of more of a significant tornado values around, centered around Atlanta down towards, Savannah, Georgia, getting over here into South Carolina, and even portions here getting up into western North Carolina with these storms. Not as high of values as we had the past couple of days, today and yesterday back in Texas, and then into Mississippi and Alabama as we had today, but still the values are there, so an isolated tornado or two is possible as we head into tomorrow afternoon around peak heating when these storms get going. And then here up into the mid-Atlantic states, you can see dew points will be averaging around here, probably around the 60-degree mark here across portions of southern Ohio, getting down to eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, lower 60 dew points here into North Carolina, into southern Virginia, and then some mid-50 dew points getting up here in northern Virginia, supportive of some scattered strong to severe thunderstorms. And yet again, a couple of these could produce an isolated tornado, some damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, also some quarter to maybe $half sized hail with the strongest of storms here across this zone here from Indiana down through Ohio, eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, into the Carolinas, and into the Virginia area, West Virginia. So we'll have to monitor that here as we head into tomorrow afternoon. The significant tornado parameter here, not as high as down to the south, a little less instability, but enough buoyancy here to get maybe a tornado or two. Not looking at really a stronger violent tornado here tomorrow, but we are still outlining the chance for at least a couple of isolated weaker tornadoes, probably EF0 to EF2 range. Not looking really at any significant hatch tornado probabilities in this area tomorrow, but still be on the lookout here for a few stronger storms that could produce a tornado or two, along with the damaging wind risk and those hail risks here as well. Now, looking at the high risk or the high resolution weather model, this is 6 a.m. here on our Wednesday, and you can see thunderstorms ongoing here from South Carolina down through central Georgia, northwest Florida Panhandle. A few of these could have some severe warnings, maybe a tornado warning tagged here on one of these storms due to the those parameters, like I said, coming together. But it does not look like an overall really huge severe weather day tomorrow, but a severe weather day nonetheless. So still have to watch out for some of these storms, as like I said, an isolated tornado, some damaging wind gusts, maybe in excess of 60 miles per hour, and some large hail on the order of quarter to $half size here cannot be ruled out. And then here, as we go through the mid-morning hours, thunderstorms will be moving across southeastern portions of Georgia. Some scattered thunderstorm development here across portions of eastern Indiana through Ohio, getting down through eastern Kentucky, the Carolinas here. A couple of those, like I said, could have some severe warnings on them. And this will just really be scattered about here across the area. This is mid-afternoon, and the stronger storms here up into eastern Ohio, kind of getting down here into the Carolinas, some popcorn-type storms into the afternoon, and then more of a concentrated area of thunderstorms down into northern Florida, far southeastern and coastal Georgia, getting down here into South Carolina as well, around Columbia, getting down here towards maybe Raleigh, North Carolina, getting down toward Jacksonville, getting down even towards Tallahassee. So a few thunderstorms there. Some of these could have, like I said, severe warnings on them, so do have to watch that. All hazards are still in play tomorrow. And also, like I outlined, an enhanced risk is possible here, as the Storm Prediction Center did note in their synopsis here today, across South Carolina into portions of south central Georgia and northern Florida, if greater destabilization and greater instability here parameters do come together. Otherwise, a slight risk here will be maintained across those areas. Looking ahead here, this is the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. And you can see behind the storm system, this is late March into the first day or so of April. Above normal temperatures across much of the western 2/3 of the country, centered around eastern Colorado, New Mexico, into west central Texas, western portions here of Oklahoma and Kansas, and just above normal in general here surrounding those areas. A slight below normal area here across western California, and then below normal temperatures here into the northeast, into the Great Lakes region, and into parts of the mid-Atlantic here behind the storm system, bringing some cooler air down here across those areas as we head toward late March into early April. And then the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook from the Climate Prediction Center shows below normal precipitation across much of Texas, especially South Texas, and then above normal precipitation here across the west and Pacific Northwest, where a few storm systems can here sneak their way in and kind of move along the northern and central plains, getting down here into the Midwest and Great Lakes region here and into the Mid-Atlantic, the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley. So some slightly above normal precipitation is likely in those spots here in the closing days here of March, getting into the first week, or at least the first few days here of April. So looking ahead, this is the GFS here, operational GFS model run, and you can see after we kick this storm out here to the east here the next couple of days, all is quiet really here as we head through the weekend. So much of the nation here is quiet. A couple showers may develop here across eastern portions of Nebraska, getting down into northeast Kansas, western portions here in Missouri. Maybe a few snow showers here across the interior northeast around Pennsylvania, getting down here into the spine of the Appalachians towards West Virginia, maybe getting down into eastern Kentucky there. Not a big deal. And then some lake effect snow potential in interior northeast, maybe a few inches of snow there, not looking at a big deal. But overall, a really quiet weekend ahead, and even really into early next week before our next storm system potentially moves on here into the Pacific Northwest and West as we head into early next week toward the closing days of March. And this could provide some snow showers across the far northern plains, the very far upper Midwest, maybe some ice potential across northern Wisconsin. We'll refine these areas here in later days, but and bringing back some thunderstorm potential here across the central and southern plains. And it really just depends on the track of the low pressure and the overall synopsis of this here. We could have some more severe weather breakout across the south and the southern and central plains as we head into maybe the middle of the fall year of next week. But it's still around a week out. And this will be refined in the coming days, especially with the track of the low. But right now, the GFS showing a 988 millibar low sitting around the Oklahoma, Texas area. But this, like I said, will change. So not going to put all my money in the bag right now for, where this low pressure will sit and where the severe weather potential will set up. But I do think severe weather will calm down here for the next week and then move back as we head toward the end of March, especially into the early portions of April, And I think April is going to be a very active month for severe weather and may not be done with the snow and ice potential here across Iowa into southern and central Wisconsin, maybe getting back here into Nebraska and northeastern Kansas quite yet, but like I said, the track of the system is key and it will be monitored here in the coming days. I just wanted to give you an update on the longer range weather pattern and also give you an update on tomorrow's severe weather potential here as well. So with all that being said, remember to like my video. If you have any questions and comments here, I will be available to answer those. And also remember to subscribe to my channel here, as I will have upcoming content all week long here concerning the upcoming storm system and the severe weather tomorrow here as well. So thank you for watching and good night.